Hey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 54 of Star Chasers Fallen. It has been a while. Welcome back. It's been since November since we played, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it's January now when we're recording this. So, apologies for the delay, but it couldn't have been helped, and that's okay. Life gets in the way sometimes. There's a song about it, I'm sure. Last time, stuff happened. Last time, we discussed Blizzard flavors. That is a shocking portion of last episode. But no, our intrepid heroes ventured into the city of Sigil, and where the legendary Tabaxi bard Storm of Stars discovered Liz has still not had a blizzard. Well, that's winter. They're harder to come by.
She's had, almost 3 months to do this.
Well,
yeah, but it's the winter months. They're not home.
That's when blizzards are more common.
well, we haven't really had any bad actual snowstorms. All the Dairy Queens by me closed during the winter, actually. But
Yes.
Oh, sadness.
yeah. They ventured into the city of Sigil, where legendary Tabaxi bard Storm of Stars encountered a friend from his past. I almost said Amelia. That's a character I play once.
Mother Abigail.
Mother Abigail, who is a divine soul sorceress connected to the Raven Queen, and that connection has been warped in some way where she can no longer see the future, and in fact she claims she's only seeing things that don't come to pass. Sort of a mirrorverse future sight, or bizarro future sight. You all checked her into a hotel with a questionably sober tiefling named Virtue. He was high. And he hadn't been cleaning the Dairy Queen machine.
Ubiquitous Traveler, wasn't that the
yes,
place?
I believe so. And then you all went to Tressam's tours, picked up a big fluffy gray and white Tressam named Kenny, and proceeded to the Dabu, Fell's tattoo parlor. Dabu are the keepers of Sigil. They serve the Lady of Pain. They're these kind of floating, really spindly, double-horned individuals who can't speak verbally, but they create kind of pictographs above their head. And they normally serve the Lady of Pain. Fell, no longer does, and is kind of the only one who doesn't. You all had been talking to him for a little bit, and he basically was just like, you can't really talk to the Lady of Pain. So we'll pick up there. Kind of cocks his head. I am recording, right? Cocks his head, and some question marks appear above it. He's like, what's your plan?
To ask you how to talk to the Lady of Pain.
Bad plan.
Okay.
Wow.
Good plan.
I'm kidding, of course.
Regret to inform you that really was about it. We need to intercede on some behalf for one of these two ladies to make some sense, and maybe we weren't quite picturing the 15-foot tall blade lady, but I for sure. Yeah, this can't happen. This union, which I forget what we've told you about it. I know we went to some extent. She seems
There she is.
Described it as a real roommate situation.
Yeah,
a real roommate situation. You know what I mean? Oh, is your friend coming to Thanksgiving kind of situation? You know?
Yeah, business partners.
Depends on the business. So yeah, I suppose we thought we'd go up and just be like, "Hey, that's going to happen." It can't, but it doesn't sound like there's a lot of reasoning with.
Yeah, he shows you this picture of like a jaunty kind of human adventurer walking, and he like approaches the Lady of Pain and like almost like talks to him, and then he's just split into like a million pieces by a bunch of blades.
That's not ideal.
He shakes his head no. He says,
Perhaps
or
if we become intangible.
A note?
oh, Marley. He kind of like he basically asks through these pictographs, "This is important," and he kind of shows like the multiverse, kind of like this, the spire of Sigil with the donut on top, and then expanding out all these other spheres and planes. It's a really cool opening cinematic, but it's all in staticky kind of line drawings.
I feel like you answered your own question with that one.
He tries to convey that the Lady of Pain, he kind of sucks back into Sigil, and he's like, Lady of Pain only cares about here.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that would affect here too, right? Like, here is an exempt from the fuckery of the rest of everything.
If the Lady of Pain is corrupted by this influence, then Sigil will be entirely, right?
Yeah, he kind of shrugs, and he shows like the Blood War, and he's like, the Blood War never affected us, and that can kind of take apart the universe too. So it's like he's not sure that it would destroy Sigil. That's him positing, though. He's no expert.
Yeah, but the Blood War does. Like, I don't know anything about the Blood War, but I would assume that it doesn't have anything to do with the Lady of Pain. This directly involves
Yes.
her.
He kind of pauses for a minute and nods.
She's a part. She's like step 3 of the plan. So.
She's not even step 1, which is insulting, frankly.
Now,
Step
we
4
understand
is
that powers. We understand that powers can't come to Sigil. What happens when a power does?
It's a real Bumblebee situation.
Hold on.
Bumblebee can't fly, but it does.
That's not helpful. Internet.
What's your video game cutscene for this?
He instead shows, instead of the human, he shows like Orcus kind of bumbling, and then the Lady of Pain just flays him. And he then kind of shows the multiverse again and pans out, and he tries to convey that the Lady of Pain is a pillar of the multiverse. She is more powerful than a god.
And therefore incorruptible. And therefore safe, and therefore there's no problem.
You are starting to shake his faith in that could be true. Simply that she is more powerful, but she is fickle.
See?
Or what if Veja is actually behind all this and is trying to set up the Raven Queen for failure, so that the Lady of Pain is like,
And then Veja wants to take over the plane of shadow and the domain of winter, fate, and death.
I don't think we've introduced Fel to Veja yet.
I was more of talking to us as a group,
but you do say it out loud.
Oh, of course.
Every time. So I gesture that Fel is only standing a counter away and just
He's not
well,
excluded from the conversation, but my direct.
Yeah, he's like petting the cat, and he kind of just looks up like, oh.
Yeah. So what if a far realm eyeball man was also maybe involved?
when he drew the ring of spheres, was the far realm one of them? Like, was that part of his diagram?
He will kind of he'll go back to it, his great wheel cosmology, and he'll kind of he'll zoom out a bunch, and you can see on the absolute outskirts this horrible, like, just static. It's just dealer teensy static, and every once in a while it like shocks in to the great wheel, and he kind of points at it like, that's the far realm. It's a cancer.
Yeah. Stain.
Yeah. What if that is trying to infect things, including possibly here, since the Lady of Pain seems to be involved somehow.
I mean, if Sigil could be controlled and accessed, it would corrupt and be a way to corrupt all of existence, every possible existence.
He shows a fox-faced individual, not a Keen. You, the players, would recognize her as Shemeshka. And kind of tries to convey the idea that if you control Sigil, some argue you could control the multiverse. In like the Lady of Pain doesn't kind of way, but has the power to exert massive control. And some think that the Lady of Pain hasn't always been the same person. It is a title. And you kind of become that horrible blade woman. But she's just always been here. And, you know, people just kind of walked into Sigil one day and were just like, I guess this is a place. It is much like Mass Effect, the Citadel, of just like, this was always here? That's a little weird, but we're not going to worry about it. In probably a slightly alarming way. Of just, you had no questions? You had no questions that there was a full city. Like, with buildings and shit. Okay. It was empty, and yeah, okay. Elves are going to elf, I guess. I'm just like, this is mine now. I put a flag here.
I look out the window, right, of this shop, or it's kind of open.
Yeah, it's kind of like an open
whatever.
stall, yeah.
Yeah.
Not hygienic.
And it's just like a city, right?
Yeah, I mean,
just like-
it's weird that it doubles back on itself. Like it does.
Yeah, no, very disorienting. I'm trying not to look up.
Yeah, it
but-
does the Doctor Strange mirror dimension thing of it's all the way around. But it's a very, you can tell it's very powerful magically. Like the air is just humming. All three of you connected to the arcane in some way can just feel the hum of this city. And it's bustling and clearly a metropolis in a way that even the biggest cities back home don't quite. It's cosmopolitan beyond that, times 10. You know,
Cosmic-politan.
it's cosmic-politan. It's cosmic.
Very good.
Planar.
I'm writing that down.
But no, yes, that is an excellent way to put it. It is cosmic-politan.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, but I mean, ultimately, kind of looking around, you're just like, I mean, you recognize bits of every city here.
Yeah. I'm just having a real hard time swallowing this bigger than gods control the multiverse thing.
It is that this place is so important. And look, maybe it's a whole, you know, hey, Philadelphia is the greatest city on the East Coast kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Of just like, what?
Yeah.
Right.
This
Right,
many
but how's
pain
your,
points
but
are
how's
like,
your
how many
local
rings
news?
you got?
Right.
You know?
Just because you're here, you think that? That's a little presumptuous.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, I think Hester's having a bit of a tough go of that aspect. Also, she doesn't believe that, you know, the the wheel, the Great Wheel theory. Everyone knows it would be a square for the 4 great spheres.
Oh well, it is because Spelljammer is slightly like the spheres are all part of the prime material plane. So on the Great Wheel, they would occupy one part of the wheel. So you can be the square within the wheel.
One of the lug nuts, you think?
Definitely the lug nuts.
But there are other theories of the multiverse as well. There's the tree of life kind of thing. I feel like there's another one.
Tesseract. The cubic.
Mm-hmm. That every planet is just a celestial seed, and Tiamat's gonna burst through them.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy.
We're down to Tiamat.
Yes, well, Bahamut created Tiamat, created magic, created the elementals, created the giants and the titans, and the dragons, and they fight through time.
And then a bunch of gods show up to have a dawn war.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. In the beginning, there was a cool silver dragon.
Yeah.
Platinum. He's platinum, but...
Yes. No, I will turn back to make sure I don't miss any pictograms. Yeah, a little dubious. Because if I'm this lady of pain, of course I'm going to cultivate this image of like, oh, I'm more powerful than gods. Don't even know. Like,
yeah, and he tries to convey that she doesn't want people to like worship her though. She's kind of like a bitch about that. It's very much notice me, but don't talk about me.
No, yeah.
Very, very, yeah.
Known a few. I got you.
Very typical of goths.
Yeah, they're an introvert with 6 million followers on TikTok.
So, Fel, is that okay to address you as Fel?
Oh yeah, he kind of nods enthusiastically. He handed you a pamphlet earlier, and sometimes the pictographs are just squiggles, and they mean words. And he's like, "That's my name."
Oh. See.
And you have comprehend languages cast, I believe. You cast that last episode, so you just instinctively understand them too.
Yeah. And I can also set my vision to different. I currently can read every language as well, just because I knew we were in a foreign place, but. Thinking about switching to seeing invisible or the ethereal plane. I wonder what seeing the ethereal plane would do here. Does it not exist here? Does it not overlap? Ponder that, Andrew. I'm going to force you to answer that question later.
At least you give him warning.
Yeah. Well, Fel, we have a bit of a conundrum. We have a power coming here to reconnect with her lover, or a power piloted by a Farum Ibelman coming to connect with their lover, or a god a power abandoning their throne to possess a mortal to come and meet her lover. All of it comes to your Lady of Pain in this power, and we have to some kind of like slide in between them on the couch of destiny here.
He picks up a picture of a rooster running into a wall.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you have the whole of it.
True. Chaperones. Leave space for Jesus.
Leave space for Bahamut.
Interesting. So, I have a question. So, the Lady of Pain is omniscient in this realm?
Let's see.
If I were to utter aloud or write on a wall, she sucks or something.
Yeah, she kind of.
Not that, but
Yeah.
because
sorry, go ahead, Timothy.
I was just going to say, if we do have something to communicate, we could be super overt about it. And if any locals, whatever, they're going to think or not think, like, a New Yorker or a Philadelphian or whomever, city person's going, okay, guys, whatever. Or we're going to get the attention of the person we want. And if we know we are pure of heart in our intention, right? We don't want anything other than to do good things. Then if we call attention to ourselves, that might be the best way rather than trying to second guess and go. I mean, we're getting the official line, which may or may not be true. But the official line is there's no way in. If you go in, you're fucking dead. Don't presume. Don't just walk in. But if we say, hey, here we are. This is why we're here. We're here to help. We have a warning. If you're above and if this is no problem for you, great. But we have to warn you because it is incumbent upon us to warn you. It is our duty to warn you. So if we can somehow get their attention that way, that might be the way to do it. Find a nice high spot.
Pass her a note.
Yeah, basically. I mean, a big skywriting is kind of what I'm thinking. That kind of a thing. Not literally, but like that's that kind of a level, like a broadcast. Attention. I will at precisely 12 midnight. I will kill Henry Claridge and steal the Claridge diamond. The Joker has spoken. That kind of broadcast to her, like, hey, we're here, and we're here to help.
Yeah. You want to capture a spider to get Spider-Man's spider frequency.
Yes.
And then project to him.
Yes.
Thoughts
exactly.
and complex ideas. Dr. Doom can do it.
Is Doom here? I know Doom has an embassy. Is there a Latverian embassy in Sigil?
There is. You pass the Latverian embassy. It says all hail Doom.
Doombots. Doombots.
You fool.
There.
Doom toots as he pleases. Yeah, I wonder whether or not is there a way to track which doors come from where?
He says there's a whole business about it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So could we find the Shadowfell door and put a bunch of wardrobes in front of it or something?
She'll never get through this.
Put down some grease, some caltrops.
I got some
banana peels.
Marley wants to cast snare.
Ideas.
We'll just snare. We'll Home Alone the shit out of it.
Very possibly. No, I'm thinking because we can't go back to the Shadowfell.
I might be able to investigate.
Right, we're being rooster against a wall from the Shadowfell.
Right.
We don't even know. Sorry, go on.
Well, I'm wondering if we can find incoming gates. Can we confront her on this side? Because she can't be a power when she gets here. I'm a little worried that means she's hollowed out Marley's mother to do so. Let's hope she's more a ride-along. But once she's here, she's not a power, and maybe then we can confront her to talk some sense into her? Seems the
Her meaning the Raven Queen, you mean?
I presume. I'm a little fuzzy on who's riding who here. It's very possible like a triple-decker bus of Veja Raven Queen, your mother. Certainly some combination therein.
Possession sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, this Lady of Pain flays orcuses at least in the helpful.
At least in the press materials,
slideshow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, perhaps,
the resume.
Like getting her attention may be all well and good, especially if we can convince her we have good intentions. But she seems a little alien. I don't know that good intentions will matter to her.
That's not my point. Isn't like, hi, we're here and we're here to do good. That is something that is going to hopefully lend a foundation of credibility to what we're saying to her. What we're saying is, something is coming here to do you harm. Whether it is able to or not, we would presume to say you're in danger, but something is coming here with specific intent that we're aware of to do you harm. Whether or not that will actually happen or not, right? But, like I said before, it would be wrong of us not to put it out to you. to do everything we could to get it out to you, because if Sigil is compromised via you, or you are compromised via Sigil, it's not good for you, it's not good for Sigil, and it's not good for the multiverse. Zzz. So that's all I'm saying.
Dabu, did you work for the Lady of Pain for any period of time?
He'll nod, yeah.
Did she ever mention an X?
Kind of leans forward. Girl.
I don't...
Spill that tea.
Would any of your old coworkers be able to get like a message to her?
He kind of looks like, I don't really talk to. I didn't leave on great terms. I'm not supposed to have left.
Sure.
But no, he says she doesn't have. She's sort of lonely. She's solitary. He will correct himself.
I see. In context,
Yeah.
it could mean a couple things. Oof.
Well, okay. I posited something. Is there something else?
Yeah, I wonder if we can't, graffiti equivalent of like she's coming, the Raven Queen is coming, or something like that. But I still worry that makes us malcontents in her eyes. I don't want to. I don't want to be flayed, I guess, is really my it's top of my no thank you list. But I do wonder whether or not alerting her to this coming is the best course, because then she can do something about it. But if she's lonely and has some spare affection for whatever will come through that gate, maybe she willingly dooms the whole multiverse. Maybe it's...
That shit doesn't seem to be about consent.
And we did pass through the Air Ward. I would just like to point that out. But and we are making a lot of presumptions about Veja's role here. I don't know that Veja might be kind of the worm tongue here, or Veja might be the motivator. Veja might have already gotten what Veja wants.
Veja could be a pander, an intermediary. So, if the Raven Queen comes here, what happens to the Shadowfell? If the Shadowfell is left unattended, or Veja, say, commandeered, it's just hypothetical, what happens to the rest of the world? Because the Shadowfell takes care of, certain things.
Yeah. Now, I'm no Andy,
part of the process of life and death.
But Andy's being real weird right now. And it's really tough to figure out where some pieces in this story are coming from or going. It's like a real Cotton-Eye Joe situation. You guys have that in your planes?
It's a popular dance. No.
I'm stymied. I go back to looking at this damn street, mumbling to myself for a minute. Just.
Can I have a perception check, Hester?
Oh boy.
Who?
Hester.
Pretty sure that's my worst one. Well, I mean it is. I got a 4.
Okay. Can I have a perception check with
This is a window.
At disadvantage. Window, you're saying? Perception.
My ultra fate dice.
It's just made of glass.
Let's not to steal anyone's chance at Thunder, but if they're going to be doing it at disadvantage anyway, It feels weird to exert this without knowing that I'm exerting it, but I will have rolled a 19 instead. How about that?
That may fit, actually. Okay.
Because I do see it not so much as she exerts. Sometimes she does.
Right.
We see her willingly.
The universe is slightly enamored with Hester.
Yeah, it's corrected itself to be like, no, look over here, dum-dum.
So as kind of has been happening a bit lately, where you do see the future and you see kind of all your alternate, you are briefly overwhelmed by every alternate possibility of this city ever. It's just like buildings kind of overlaying on top of each other, ghostly buildings, a bunch more people in the streets. And yeah, you can see this Lady of Pain. She looks constant, though. Like, there are clearly different ones of her, but she always looks the same. Kind of, and does appear, and occasionally someone will do something and she'll flay them or maze them, where they just kind of disappear. And people are like, fuck, and kind of like scatter. Not me. No, make eye contact. And yeah, that keeps happening, but kind of you can't help but feel like someone else is watching this as well. And you, with that 19, your eyes kind of, as if being told, like, look over there, like, look over there. You can see there's like a wall of Vejas kind of all looking out windows, and they all kind of make eye contact with you. And the eye, his head is, once again, for folks who are joining us or don't remember what Veja looks like, Veja's this kind of spindly lime green creature with one giant eye for a head. And the eye kind of raises at its corners as if it's smiling.
And what he wants.
kind of like does like a little shitty toodaloo wave at you, Hester. And very briefly, the window you were looking through looks like the window that you looked through in the Galantir, the one into your parents' house.
Oh, well. And when I'm getting all of these Vejas, do I feel like it's multiple Vejas? Is it Vejas across different realities?
Yes, excellent question. So
like,
you feel like unlike all of these other things where they're just clearly alternate versions of people. Even looking behind you, you can see an alternate version of Storm, an alternate version of Marley, and now something that's never happened before. You see just different people. Like, as if Storm died when you fought Crimzano, or Marley died when you fought Ignan. There's just a whole other person here. Like, kind of thing. And, you know, some of them, Storm is missing an eye, Marley's missing an arm. Like, they're getting worse. But looking across, it's not alternate versions of Veja. It's Veja existing in all timelines at once.
okay. Gotcha. Well, you're being really weird right now, but I have that.
And he does the shitty little toodaloo, and he kind of very playfully holds up the blood red crystal ruby raven skull, and he kind of goes like, oops.
Did I do that?
And then Cotton Eye Joe dances out of.
Dance. We have that dance.
Fuck, is that from the Far Realm? Is that why it's so catchy? It's a universe cancer.
So he gives me the full Vir Koto, and then does he bounce, or is he continuing to?
The realities kind of go back to normal, but you can still feel like he's maybe over there. Like, there's still that uneasy feeling.
Okay. Okay. Well, that narrows down our culprits and expands our problems. I'll kind of turn to the group. Okay. Just saw Veja.
Oh, huh?
Had a
What?
vision of Veja everywhere. Just
Veggie versions, visions of Veggie versions.
verily. Like just yeah, looking out of just about everywhere. He is smiled, I think. I don't know. I've had breakfast with the fellow and I still don't know what he's about, but I do think he has the ruby red gushers bird skull that you liked. Nope. He has the ruby
Ruby Red Gusher.
yeah.
That was the limited edition co-release marketing.
Yeah.
It was like at petrol stations.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Along with tropical and raging waters.
The Raging
But-
Waters Raven Skull is the best one, I think. Anyway.
So yeah, I
That doesn't seem like a good thing.
I mean,
go
So-
on.
they were here and
No.
everywhere because they were
Yeah.
here.
Fel, can we see the inference of the far plane again that they occasionally strike?
Kind of brings it up happily. And yeah, just kind of like lightning. It'll occasionally like this awful. Yeah, because again, it's none of it's in color. It's all black and white. So this like terrible staticky black lightning bolt kind of just occasionally cuts into, and it's always repelled. But
Yeah, I believe that Veja has stirred this mischief and is now kind of observing, as if through his own Galantir. And either kind of shaking us up like a snow globe or waiting for the shit to start. I think they know, that this is going to be a disastrophe. But I don't know. I still don't know how to interfere. We can't go to the far plane.
We don't know
No.
what Pixel Ravenskull does. We just know that, like, basically what we were told is that Raven Queen lost it and she just wanted it back because it was hers.
so can I get insight checks from everyone, please?
Yeah.
Another thing I'm absolute pants at, but so of course I roll a fucking 17. That's how it works.
That's how Hester's work.
Works. That's how Hester's work. Oh my god, it is how Hester's work.
Yeah. I got a 17 too.
17, excellent.
Wow, I got a 15.
Okay.
You guys rolled
I
better
think
than me.
that's in this case maybe a little fitting. Marley is a little too close to this problem.
Mm.
So Storm and Hester kind of talking through this a little bit. It was something the Raven Queen wanted, yes, something you retrieved for her with the help of Veja. Maybe Veja was saying like, I still have it. You didn't give her that, you dum-dums.
I see. So we handed over some sort of illusion, or
Does
it's
it
all trickery.
give Veja influence over?
Yeah, maybe some
Her.
sort of far realm nonsense.
Right,
There was
because
certainly.
I made it up. I
a
don't know.
blood it's the Raven Skull, right? Would imply that the Raven Mind is inside the Raven Skull, and if you control the Raven Skull, maybe it controls the Raven Mind.
Yeah,
Certainly put her on her bullshit.
Well, but then also if Veja has it and the Raven Queen does not, where is Veja? Is Veja not with the Raven Queen? Is Veja here because you sensed Veja in all places at once?
I mean, they were looking out of physical windows, but I think Storm, you met with Veja, correct? Were you ever looking
did.
through a window into the physical plane? I traveled to Ignan's fortress that way the first time. So, like, I just think he sees through portals that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he needs to be here, but the fact that I saw him is still a little alarming.
Yeah,
but...
if I remember correctly, when Storm also went home, but home for Storm isn't necessarily like a singular building because it was,
Wandering. Yeah.
exactly, like a camp to camp and traveling lifestyle. So it
more
was
of
like,
I was just going to say it's more like something that comes up between people who are together as opposed to a specific spot.
It's like a feeling. It's the fire and the people versus like a building. So his interpretation of seeing through the far realm or whatever that was different than Hester's. It was like recontextualize.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Takes something familiar and beloved and makes it weird.
I would never.
It's weird you heard your name in that sentence. Martin. The Raven Queen certainly was acting different, right? Speaking in whole sentences, etc. But it was the Raven Queen for all intents and purposes.
I mean, it looked like her, but again, I assumed that she was a goop because she was speaking in full sentences. So I didn't really have a whole lot of evidence to like support that was actually her that we were talking to the last time. Now, when we handed over the Blood Crystal Raven Skull, I was pretty convinced that it was her because she wasn't talking in full sentences.
Oh yes, the goop. Andy's being really weird right now. Okay. So possibilities.
I also had a thought that when I first received the mission to go and get the Blood Crystal Raven Skull, I had a dream about a dragon that we had determined was Null, the draconic dragon of death that's from the Outer Planes.
Correct.
And if I remember correctly, it's been a long time. This is way back in episode 17.
I have to go. I've been meaning to do a rewatch. I might have to start all the way back there.
That he wanted it too. So obviously this Blood Crystal Raven Skull has more significance than just it is the Raven Queen's and she wanted it, but we never really found out what that significance was. But he seemed real interested in it and real interested in her not getting it back.
Maybe it has something to do with the realm of death or something? Shadowfell?
Right, because he's the dragon god of death, right? Was the
the draconic god of what
his
my
interest
notes say,
is.
Yeah, my notes say Null, draconic god of death, is from the Outer Planes, is from the plane of neutral / chaotic evil.
So,
And he was a real dick about it.
If he wanted the skull, maybe that would give him domain over, regency over the domain or some kind of influence.
Or he just didn't want her to have it again.
But yeah, and to elaborate on Storm's or Timothy's idea, I mean,
it's Storm.
Yeah,
Storm's
maybe they're the same.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, exactly what Marty. Yeah, I didn't know if it was the in or out of character. But to elaborate on that, if he is a lesser god of death, that means he probably serves the Raven Queen in some capacity. Like, kind of there are like vassal gods, like the god of murder. Well, that's technically under the god of death. Like, dying at all is more broad than murder. So, like, Null is probably under Tiamat at some level, but then he has like, he's owned by two companies.
Subsidiary.
He's always on loan. And they're really building that expanded universe. Eos, or whatever the cosmic dragon is, really the connective tissue. Is it Eos? What the hell's the...
Io?
Io, Eo, same diff.
Yeah, okay.
You're Italian, probably say Eo.
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 It's a me.
It's a meal.
Ew.
It's a meal.
I'm in here in space.
I'm foundational to the universe.
Hey, I'm a fundamental force. We're making fun of Mario, not
Not
Italian.
actual Italians.
From Italy, right?
This is from Italy. This is just how dragons talk. It's a
That's right. No, whenever we play Mario Party as a family, I always play Rosalina, and I do the entire game. I'm just like, it's me, I'm Rosalina. No one finds it nearly as amusing as I do. Okay, well, have we tried approaching a vassal god? Could we? I mean, I don't really truck with gods, but does anybody here kind of burn some incense and be like, ninny, winny, bon and bum? I haven't been to church, but we could do something like that. Maybe maybe we can connect to Noel and be like, hey, what were you on about?
Listen, if you want to talk to him, that
That seems like a bad scene.
Yeah, I wasn't volunteering. What about Ken, your flying cat?
He's the one that talked to Null.
Bell.
I'll bring Kenny into this.
Bell, powers aren't supposed to be able to reach here. Can't reach here. Could we reach out from here to powers?
he kind of
Do clerics work here?
yes, and that is exactly what I was about to say. Acolytes of gods can still come here. You were actually in a temple district earlier, so clerics and stuff work here. It's just up even to angels can't come here. Direct servants of gods and powers and high devils or archdevils and demon lords and ladies can't come here. Fey lords can't really come here. Baba Yaga would probably be like, hard pass.
Yugalos can.
Yugalos can, but that's because they are lesser fiends.
Yeah.
Up to probably a Baylor might be here. That would be kind of the biggest deal.
That's a big demon.
It's a big demon, but it's not
That's a big demon.
It's a big demon.
Yeah, a big demon.
It's a big Baylor.
A big demon.
I would apologize, but I don't feel sorry about anything. So
that's key in apologizing, I think. Okay, well then certainly there's some kind of avenue of lesser gods or something. Mm-hmm. We go to that. Somebody burns incense and says, weenie bomb or whatever. Eric Idle's line is in Transformers. And we ask Noel, hey, what were you on about? Certainly he can't get us here, right? I learned spells to protect your dreams, and it turned out not to be necessary. What if we dream on purpose at him or whatnot? And it's kind of hey, why didn't you want that? And maybe learn, what... The skull seems to be cat's paw to this whole thing. I just feel like we don't have enough information. I don't know where I'm going.
So I wonder if
was it a warning more than a warning that it wasn't good that she got it back more than it was that Noel wanted it. Maybe.
I wonder if there's any merit in me casting legend lore to find out about some of these things.
The
actual spell.
The Raven Skull?
The Raven Skull.
To dream contacting the Dick Dragon again.
I mean, and then maybe, I could do 3 castings of it. Not that Andy is ready to spill out that much lore at us necessarily or not. I mean, he might have it at the tip of his brain. I don't know. But I could look into Blood Crystal Raven Skull. I could look into Null specifically. I could even look into Veja if there's any legendary stuff about them as a being. And this could be, something to put in the hopper, Andy, for later if you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, if you
for next session or something.
If you want to cast it now, let me know. I was actually just wondering something about legend lore. Let me see.
Well, and in the meantime, I will ask Phil, is there a temple to literally everyone if I just walk around long enough?
Interesting.
Right.
Let me double check that. Sorry, I was just thinking about the wording of legend lore, if you cast it more than once about the same topic, you would get more information each time, because the more you know, the more information it provides. So I just never thought of doubling up it, but if just the way Storm phrased that, and I know that wasn't what he was saying, but literally if you cast it about the same thing 3 times, you would learn a lot about it. Don't do that.
Right, because the more you know about it informs where you start the spell, right? Like that's kind of where the needle drops.
Right.
That's how research and learning work anyway, so it reflects that, right? So that makes sense. I mean, and it would be, I think casting is, what is it? What does it say casting time is?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, oh yeah, there it is. So like, yeah, I mean, this is something where if we wanted to do 3 castings of the same thing or of 3 different topics, you know, it's a half an hour and maybe a sandwich, right? Drink of water or something between castings. But do we want to invest it all in one thing to get super deep with research, like on the Blood Crystal Raven Skull? Like, could it?
Well,
You know?
I mean, you don't have to commit to all 3 when you cast it the first time. So maybe cast it the first time, we see what we learn. And then if we feel like we need more information about that one thing, then we move forward with that.
Or if it leads us to a new thing that we then want information about deeper, or one of the other previously cited options, like Null or Veja individually, or the Lady of Pain, or, you know, like, who knows? But like I said, I have 3 potential castings in a long rest period. So,
as for whoever asked if there's a temple to literally everyone, the answer is, look, there's a lot. Like, I'm looking through, and there are some temples to gods that are like, really? They get one? But they do tend to be kind of the bigger ones. Now, there's like straight up a temple of the 9 lords, of the Lords of the 9. So I do think there probably would be a temple of just dragon gods. Like, it might be smaller, but there'd at least be a shrine.
Yeah, I swear I watched a video once where like Billaboop is like technically like the offshoot of a dragon god. The lizard folk god is, and the hobgoblin god is technically an outcrop of dragon gods. Now, I'm not finding that in the Dragon Pantheon wiki I'm on right now, or the page I'm on right now, but and it's not mentioning that. But anyway, so like I'm even wondering if I could just kind of go like, hey, crab-handed midwife, lobster-headed.
you really want to talk to Blipdoop?
Yeah, lobstrosity. I need, but yeah, just even if I could roundabout way. But yeah, if I can find a dragon shrine of some sort, I volunteer. I don't truck with gods, so I don't think it has much power over me, and it can't get me. It'll be at least safely behind a screen. And if I can, I'll just kind of message at it to be like, what was your problem with my friend Marley and this ruby red
grapefruit
candy head? If you could just write down the name for me so that I don't.
Right.
But yeah, between that and like, I think we need insight here. We need to know who. And because look, I've played some field hockey. It's proven I can slide tackle the Raven Queen to the floor when she gets here. But we need to know if that's even the right thing. Should we be protecting her? Actually, like, yes, of course. But yeah, like, should we? Is she our focus of saving? You know, yeah. I'm still not sure what the target is here. I'm trying to reach out to the universe, and all it told me was Veja was watching. So I think we need to use the fact that this city is a multifaceted gem that looks out into all directions and look out some facets. Does that make sense?
It does.
Totally. And
you find that fascinating?
I do find it fascinating.
You don't get inspiration for that.
I'm on the wrong stream.
I'm not an easy mark. No, yeah. I mean, I'm the DM, so I'm not. I shouldn't tell you if your plan's good or not, but it's good, and I feel.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a way to say this. I'm sorry if I'm not being clearer.
No, you're being super weird right now, but I like that. I know from being on the other side that sometimes the temptation to be like, you guys are so close or whatever can be very strong, and you don't have a great poker
You are
face,
doing.
so...
I know you all are doing great. I do want to say that. I don't think you're missing anything. I'm saying maybe I could be clearer.
So
but
now we shouldn't separate, especially because I'm terrified of this big city. But perhaps if we go find the Dragon Temple, Martin, I think you should be nearby as kind of like bait. Makes it sound too much what I mean.
it's
A
hurtful
conduit?
in the right way.
Like it'll be like through a window, though, right? Like you see the zoo footage of like a lion trying to eat a baby through a window, and kind of thing. You'll be the baby.
And there is no window, but
and there is no window.
And there are 200 lions.
Yes,
and it's a
also,
dragon.
it's the Lion of Death dragon god.
But otherwise, it's exactly the same.
And you're covered in honey and ants.
After that,
Yes.
spot on.
And he hasn't eaten in 300 years.
300 years.
While we're doing that, Storm, you legend lore as often as you have to. We'll start with I think the skull has so much to do with it, and what we don't know about that skull could so far fit 54 episodes. We've spent a lot of effort getting it, and not one question about it.
Well, I've only recently become able to
Right.
get this deep
True.
and stuff.
Yes.
So
I think I did ask her what it was for, and the answer was mine. So
Is that not a good
I
enough
left it
answer
at that.
for you? Or
Does sound like her before she got crazy chatty.
before she became Chatty Cathy up in here.
before she said, "This is mine."
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! Slow down.
And
awful lot of questions.
all right. Well then, Phil,
Thanks.
bless you
I'm sorry.
for just giving us a parlor to spin our wheels in for a lot of it. But
He does kind of look at you like,
and if we
are
can,
you
we'd
not?
love to return.
He does say like, "Are you not going to buy anything?"
Oh, he's a tattooist, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's
Yeah, what do you-
there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff, magic tattoos in that book, man. If you looked in Tasha's, got some good tattoos.
Yeah, is that the kind of you're talking about? Like,
Oh, his tattoos are
I-
super magic.
okay, like,
And I've already got one magic tattoo. Why not another?
do I have to pick like the sword, the shield, or the wand, like
Yeah,
the beginning of a Kingdom
it's like
Heart?
Kingdom Hearts. No, he tries to explain. He actually hands you like explaining it, but like his tattoos, he can do like a magical tattoo from Tasha's, but also he can like, if he puts a physical representation of something on your arm, you can literally pull it off of your arm and it becomes real. It only works once, but like if you like are like, I need this gate key and I don't want anyone to ever take it from me, tattoo it on your arm, and then you're like, cool, got it. A wand
pretty
kind
good.
of thing, like of just like, well, they've disarmed
A
me.
wand of
except,
wonder.
well, I don't know. Actually, I don't
Like
know if
this?
they can. I don't know if they can be that magical. Like, I don't know if. Oh, he's in this book.
They probably have one here, though.
Oh, you could probably buy a wand of wonder. I'm not trying to. I'm just
Right.
saying. I don't know if his.
It's.
I don't want you
I
to
don't
be
know
like.
if it's alarming that you just have one on hand, Timothy.
Oh, that's right.
I was
It's
given
alarming.
to me actually for a Secret Santa with my in real life group. It's someone made it on Etsy. It's really fucking great. I saw it like as I was unwrapping. I'm like, oh my god, is this a wand of wonder? Because I recognized it from the drawing.
Yeah.
Yup.
Very
so
good.
It works. It works. I'm gonna make grass grow. Hang on.
Yeah.
Um,
If I could get a tattoo of giving me exactly one more intelligence, except my intelligence is already artificially inflated, so I don't know that works.
you need like
It
a
would still be
what
a
is it,
19 at the end of
Yeah,
it.
you just
I-
write int +1. I don't know if that would. I mean, look, if you wanted something like a wand of wonder, it would be very, very expensive.
Yeah, I'm
More
sure.
than
I'm
just
kidding.
buying them, because in the book it says like straight up like a paladin defeated a demon and he got the demon tattooed on his arm and the demon came to life and murdered a bunch of people. So like he's good in a
Yeah.
bad way. Or it can be bad.
let's
if
just
you-
have him.
Yeah, it's monkey paws.
We'll have him tattoo the ruby red raven skull on
I
us.
was gonna say.
And then we get it.
And then we get it.
Oh, that's
We get
beautiful.
a one-time use. Blood
Yeah.
kiss raven.
Marley, you get the raven skull. I'll get the Galantir. Storm, you get your wand of wonder, probably. You were quite enamored with that. Or you
yeah,
can get the Galantir.
more the idea of the Wand of Wonder.
Yeah.
Mainly because everyone else was so horrified of the idea of me having it, made it more attractive. To a cat, of course, that's more appealing.
Yes.
Liz in chat says this is a harebrained scheme I can get behind.
Very good.
What if we get a tattoo of one of the gods, and then we peel it off here, and then a power is
There we
here
are.
in Sigil, and then everything unfolds and we all die, right?
Okay.
Probably.
Have the thing, and then he tattoos it to us, and it like goes into us,
We
or
have
is
to bring
it
it back
you
to the
can
shop,
pick
right?
Anything. And
Did he have to? The paladin have to bring the demon to the tattoo artist, or did he say, "I defeated this demon"? Did he like? How
I
did
need
that
to-
work?
I want to understand.
It
the
was a
rules.
picture enough, yeah.
Somehow Palpatine has returned. It says
Oh no.
Bro,
somehow though the six-armed picture grew into a real fiend.
what is that line of dialogue that poor Dominic Monaghan and Oscar Isaac have to say? Somehow he returned, like standing around the room. God, it's so depressing.
It's explained in Fortnite.
Perfect. No notes. All right. Well, let's initiate our plan, and then we will. Phil, this has been great. We will be back for tattoos. I'm certain. I think we're all going to get a sigil tattoo of some sort just to commemorate our time here. A real Fellowship of a Ring situation. Your Ring City, of course.
He starts cycling through everyone who said they're going to come back for a tattoo.
Okay.
He seems cheerful about it. Like he's not like really put out, but
Is there
Well-
anything else you want?
I'll take a ghost step tattoo if it's on the menu.
what's that ghost step?
I think that's what it is.
That's my band name. Ghost Step Tattoo.
It's good, right?
Let's see. What do you do? Now this does require attunement, and I think we had recently talked about
Oh,
how
I
you
might
were
be
at
full.
which doesn't mean you can't unattune from something, but
Right. Well, I just, I'm really saying it because he said we should buy something.
he's not going to be a jerk about it. But
Right. Would any of these like awesome super, I killed a demon and outside my arm tattoos, are they require attunement, or is that just a consumable basically?
no, because they're one-time use. Usually, they're just they're not attuned. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So, no, that's fine. So, if we come back with some imagination, or a depth, or if we're like, what we really need is this, like, a snowmobile or something like that, jet skis, maybe,
Hold on.
in honor of Mobius.
And yeah, if nothing else, I'll get a Tromp Stomp, which if I remember, I established that's a Dwarven tramp stamp. I'll just get like a Strong Heart, like whatever the Futhok for that will be, and yeah. heart with two biceps coming out.
It's
You
exactly
can
what
make
I
it
was
come to
picturing.
life, and it'll be this jacked animated heart that will punch people for you with love.
Pummeling people.
It's
It's like hopping
It'll wipe
around,
that-
running around with its arms, has no legs. It's like
Break you.
throwing itself at people and punching them.
hey, they won't see it
Grappling.
coming. Whoever that is, even
I
Lady
know.
of Pain herself will be like, ugh.
What the hell? It's like,
Ew.
plus it's behind you. You're facing off with someone. You reach behind you, pull out this thing, and throw it at them. They're like,
Ugh.
ah!
Did that come from your butt? What is that?
Yeah! I thought they were going to throw a cat at me, but this is worse.
You pull that from your butt? You reach behind you, and now there's this thing.
Is that your
I
butt
want that in
heart?
my labyrinth. I'm not sending that to the labyrinth.
Never come back.
We solved your Sigil puzzle.
Who knew? We solved with a butt heart.
Jacked butt heart. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
sorry.
That's right. Totally.
I'm going to write jacked butt heart here so that
That's
6 months from now I can come back and be like,
It's
what?
what?
It's my pen
My
name for
favorite
my
D&D notes.
erotic
I was
novels.
going to say it.
It's Jack.
Jack Butthart. It's your author name.
Part of a series.
Yeah, it's Jack D. Butthart.
You're numb to plume. Oh no.
Okay.
Timeless classic from Jack Butthart.
All right. Let's
D&D is very serious.
no Dragon Force team go. I think let's go bother a death dragon. I barely
Okay.
believe in them, so
All
I'll
right.
be well protected. Oh yeah, Phil. Sorry, being a darling. We'll pay for some kind of service, or make a donation in your name to anything you like. Where's the Temple District, or where can we start?
So you actually were all in the Temple District very briefly earlier. That's where you found Abigail. So it's
Right.
close to where you came in.
Tight. Thank you very much.
Was
Then
she?
We could have Kenny guide us there.
Yay, Kenny. I'll give him some more nip. I need, or rather, the question I have is, I don't recall when we found Abigail. Was she near a Raven Queen shrine?
That's a good
Since it was in
question.
the Temple District.
That is an excellent question. Let me look. Okay, where the heck is that store? Friendly Fiend. Who? No,
Getting Kenny crazy on this nip.
she was in front of the Temple of Baravar Cloak Shadow, the gnomish,
like a-
the gnomish god of illusions.
I was gonna say, like, that sounds like a
Gross.
gnome or a halfling
Yeah,
god name.
yeah, right down the street from Girl Glitter Gold's temple.
Good old
Also
girl.
gross.
Oh, I forgot you hated gnomes.
You Marty or you Hester?
Hester,
Or
yeah,
you
I
both?
just specifically because Mirador doesn't really have them, so I thought it was funny if one half race just hated another for no discernible reason. I like making indiscernible goofs sometimes.
Gnomes are on Mirador are half elf, half dwarf. Is that right?
Yes, yes,
And yeah, they just don't really exist.
yeah. They don't have a culture of their own.
They're
which
rare.
neither did halflings.
Yeah,
Here we are.
Yeah, they're
They're either in the Elven or the Dwarven culture, probably, right?
Uh-huh.
Whatever side they're born in.
Right.
Right. I call them dwelves. Dwelves in my world.
Very good.
They're more tall, though.
I call them elves. It's the back half of dwarves and the front half of elf. So
That's so amazingly stupid, and I love you.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I legend loring at the
That's-
same time? Or are we...
Yeah, I
Are we
believe the
doing this
plan is to use me as bait for Null at the same time as you are legendary.
I said
Well,
I didn't want to say
if-
that because it's what I meant.
Okay, right.
That's why I'm saying it.
Just positing.
That's right.
So am I going back to the hotel? Am I with you guys and casting this sort of?
Yeah, I figured you could sit down in the corner, but if you certainly would rather go back,
No, that's
especially
fine.
see Lady Abigail or Mother Abigail, that yeah, as a player, I'm not a huge you can never split the party person. There's a wisdom to not doing that in general, but if
Well, I
someone's
was
kind of
gonna
like, I'm going to fuck off and do my thing, that's fine too for me. But
Well, I can.
I do think we
I'll-
should be proximate.
If we do it near each other, and if we're able to, I would prefer that myself. So, if I'm with you guys, just in case this bait option turns into something else,
Yeah.
you know, oh, the lion had a key to the glass case where the baby is. You know,
Yeah.
Oh my god. He can use intricate locks.
He could walk around
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, it turns out
he
it
has a
wasn't. It was
remote.
just
He's like, yeah.
he befriended a monkey who can use the door.
He has a gun. He just
He
shot
has a
that
gun.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that lion has a gun.
Get down.
It's like a real breakdown of the chain of command.
Don't worry, that glass will protect us. Well, is it bulletproof? Why would that? Oh my god.
I love lion with
Why?
a gun. I think that's genius.
Is
Is it a pistol or is it like a rifle? That's my question.
I was picturing like a revolver, but I
Right.
think
Well, he's like wheeling it with his tail. Maybe he's got like over the shoulder.
It's
It's
kind
like
of
ready to
hanging
pounce
from his
on you.
mouth.
He tongues the trigger. Oh,
What is
And
happening?
it gets mad because it hurts
We've all
because he's
hated.
fighting the gun when it blows up. No good. Lion with a gun.
This is why I don't trust zoos.
This is why. Alrighty. Well,
Okay. So
we're off to
I
a
know what
banger
my
start.
tattoo's gonna be. Lion with
Yes.
a
It's
gun.
like-
Lion with a gun. I've got my weird muscle-bound atrocity. You've got a lion with a gun.
just an
Oh my
absolutely
God.
dire situation.
Marley,
Nope.
you have to get one too. You have to get one that's
Yeah.
just as bizarre and unsettling.
And something that would be extra great about Storms is, let's say they have to like shave him to do it, and then his fur grows back, so no one knows he has it, and it's just
Yeah.
extra surprising. I'm just like, well, I can technically.
Why is he
see...
scratching his forearm? What? That's brilliant.
Lion with
No,
a gun?
Marley's just going to get a tattoo of her mother's disapproval or something. It's going to be a real bummer.
That could be rough.
Yeah.
I've felt Marley's mother's disapproval, and it was not easy to recover from.
That's true. That is
She
true.
lays on
Yeah, if you
very
could
heavy.
weaponize
Like
that.
I felt like a child, worse than a child after she was through with me.
All right.
I'm writing down "lion with a gun" tattoo, so I don't forget.
Hopefully, you
All right,
remember what
good.
Jack Butthart means and lion with a gun.
Lion with
And lion with a gun is mostly self-explanatory, but
It does. It still leaves questions, but you do get the better picture than
But
Butthart. But
Jack Butthart is the fuck. It's the answer to Jack Sparrow. I mean, it really is.
yes.
Jack
yeah,
Butthart.
reboot the Pirates of the Caribbean with Jack Butthart.
Oh, as a jacked Butthart, like, come on.
And
Johnny
he's the-
Depp, it's a role he would totally get into. He'd be like, "Oh, this is amazing. My comeback is written."
the only character who's like that. Everybody else is like a weird goth hot topic pirate, and then he's just a cartoon jacked butthart. There's no
He would
context
voice
of why
it.
he's
You
a
know, he
butthart.
would voice it.
Oh, he probably would do anything.
Or, you know, what he'd want to do is have his own makeup team make him look like a jacked Butthart.
Get real method.
Because
into it.
that's more
Yeah.
more up his alley.
Yes.
Apparently,
I'm
he,
going to do a Welsh accent for
we
some
can talk
reason.
about this. Yeah, we can talk about this later. We're really digressing in Sigil, boy.
Yes.
Sigil, I guess.
It's
It's
too many worlds collapsing.
yeah, it's been too long. So we're very good.
It's been too long.
We're getting punchy with this weird recycled donut air.
Yeah, it's just I don't feel great. Does everyone not feel good?
Ugh,
It's like an
ugh.
airplane in here.
like
Yeah, like
periodically they open a portal just to let some wind in to like mix it up a bit.
Just not enough oxygen.
Ugh.
I
Being in a museum gift shop.
I have no evidence for this or anything, but I subscribe to this theory called airplane breath, where when you're on an airplane, your breath gets bad because
man.
you're breathing the same air over and over again, even though they're filtering it, allegedly. So I'll just tell Krista, I need mints. I'm going to get airplane breath.
It's true.
That's why people chew gum. It doesn't help with the ear popping. It's airplane breath.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Does it?
Flights are also really dehydrating, and that can promote that too.
Yeah, that's why you want. That's why they serve tomato juice, because it's like electrolytes or whatever. I'm a scientist.
You are.
It's electrolytes or some nonsense. I don't know.
Remind me to talk about Midnight Run when the stream's over.
Okay.
The movie's great. Yeah.
Midnight Run.
Midnight Run. Yeah.
Oh, I
Charles
fucking love that movie. It's
Robert
so
De Niro.
good. Charles Gruden, John Ashton. Hey, watch your
Yeah.
cigarettes with this Gaffacoda. So good. Such a good movie. Anyway,
Absolutely.
more
All right,
digress.
so.
Okay.
And that soundtrack is Danny Elfman. You can't trace this. Anyway,
Okay.
there's not a hint of him. There's not a hint of him. None of his circus music nonsense. Anyway, we're moving towards the Dragon District.
The D word.
Temple District. Temple District.
Ooh. Took a
uh,
wrong turn.
Danny Elfman soundtrack would fit very well in Sigil, I think.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
My Danny Elfman impression. That's not fair. I usually like him, but it is a lot of hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
Yeah.
You all walk back. You take the teleportal. The cat follows you for as long as you have catnip, and will probably just follow you for as long as you want. This is your game. You can adopt as many pets as you want. I'm pro pets in D&D.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll just like, where's the after party? Where are we going? Where's it going? What's happening? What?
I've got more nip, so he's
Definitely
probably
does that
following
cat
me.
thing.
Like...
Just looks at a ghost. It's just you, okay, bud? Or
It's actually looking at Veja.
Probably.
Good, very well.
They do have true sight,
and
right?
detect poison, so
yeah, oh yeah. I
No,
think we
you-
did say last time he actually can see ghosts.
yes.
Okay, so you all head to the temple district. You find there is this absolutely beautiful temple to Io.
Okay.
It's really big and kind of columned. You know, it's very Greek. And kind of next to that one, in is a little bit smaller, is Bahamut, and then next to that one, it's shuttered, is Tiamat. And then kind of behind that, in a big circle, is all of the lesser dragon gods.
Okay. Let's take a moment to reorient everything I know about religion, but fair enough. So I start pacing around looking for Null,
A null set.
and yeah. Asking Marlton if she senses it like some sort of divining rod of gloominess.
I'm not connected to all gods of death.
But you had, contact with this thing, right?
It's true. Am I picking up any pings? My Marley Dar
For what in particular? Sorry.
Null.
for Null.
Oh,
Bedtime.
okay, yes.
Sign?
Just the
And-
vibes.
Null vibes.
What are the nullometer readings?
Let's see. Here we go. Draconic Pantheon. Oh, weird. Sorry. I'm just looking at Null's wiki, and he serves the Raven Queen, but he occasionally has two aspects as two different gods. So Chronepsis and Faluzor, and Faluzor serves Vecna. Weirdly.
Fucking Vecna.
Yeah, fucking Vecna. Okay.
What's his name? Val what?
Faluzor with an F.
Not
F-A-L.
values, or that's
the
dragon god of savings.
Come on down to values, or
I love this episode. We're very goofy, and sometimes you just need that.
Little Punchy being back together, and that's a good feeling.
Yes. Okay, so going around, there's weird. Okay, so God, the dragon.
D&D players, you want your DM to say "oh weird" right before he's about to describe something to you.
The dragon pantheon's just so weird.
It's very
Or
strange.
you're about to dangle one of your party members as bait.
Okay.
Nearby and pretend to be serious.
So going around the circle, all of the shrines are being attended to by kobolds or lizard folk, dragonborn, occasionally humans, troglodytes, kind of going around. But there's shrines to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different gods, in addition to Io, Bahamut, and Tiamat outside.
so 13.
So a total of 13. But let's say they're alphabetical. So next to the dragon god of harsh justice, Lendis, and the god of gem dragons, Sardior, if you want to contact your buddy, what's her face's boyfriend.
This stream's really fun, you guys. You should go back and watch all of them if you haven't already.
Is Null, the god of death and dead dragons. And there are indeed like kind of two lesser shrines representing his two different facets, the Reaver and Guardian of the Lost. So he is the god of both death and the dead, whereas you know, in the Forgotten Realms, for instance, they are two different gods. Dying is different than the protector of the dead. The Raven Queen kind of serves as both, but she's a sort of weirder, because she's a Dawn War god and kind of a other planar god. Lots of different pantheons. But yeah, there's a bunch of little skulls and kind of lilies and any offerings at any of the shrines are arranged into little hoards, so they try and make them as big as possible, but they're still just like, I gave like 20 coins, and it's just kind of like built into a little pyramid, and then they kind of muss it a little bit.
Cool. All right. Yeah, Marley, just kind of come here and sit by me.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm going to... Okay. I think I've got it. Alright, so I'm going to, I don't have any faith to speak of. Again, it's not so much that I don't believe in gods. I know they're real. It's that I don't feel like encouraging them with a very academic air. So, I don't feed them anything. So this is a lot for me to kind of overcome. But I've accepted that I've encountered dragons, and we're going to kind of draw on that. So, by being near Marley, please observe any kind of religious airs you can. Maybe tell me to light some incense or something. I'm not sure if I buy a stick. Is 5 sticks enough? Like, what's a horde of sticks to a god of death? But I would like to... Andy, you tell me how this works. I want to basically assert my basic Hesterness across the universe.
Okay.
To be like, I'm important, pay attention to me. And, and again, my friend Marley's here. You know who she is, so I know you can see. But also, I'm going to offer the fire glands that we've removed and say, "Oh God of dead dragons, I've given you 2, so I think I'm worth a minute of your time."
Nice.
All of the lights in the temple kind of do that flicker, go back up, and a shadow skull kind of appears out of the smoke from the candles and the incense, and says, "You indeed have returned 2 hordes to Tiamat. Hester, you are many slayers of dragons." And kind of rippling throughout time, there's a bunch of different Hesters who have killed dragons.
Who have reversed gravity and pinned them to ceilings.
God.
For instance.
Who watched a paladin solo a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
God, that fucking reverse gravity.
Good spell.
It is.
Yeah,
it was.
It's a bitch once you're trapped in it.
It was. They were in like a big volcano room, and the player was like, "How tall is this room?" And I look it up, and I'm like, "Fuck, it's 100 feet tall." And she's like, "Reverse gravity." And I was like, "I hate you. I hate you so much right now." It was rad. It was rad as hell.
Yeah.
That's what that spell's for.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I go to settings and set this fight to easy. Come back out. Well, yeah. Yes, very good. Then my reputation proceeds. I don't know if you recall, but you had conversations with a friend of mine, Marley.
Hi, I'm Marley.
She's there. I don't know if you can see her if we're on the same plane here, but when you reached out to her, you warned her, some would say threatened, to not seek the ruby raven skull.
The blood crystal raven
The
skull.
blood crystal raven skull. I'm starting to think it wasn't a threat. It was a warning, wasn't it? Trying to... Like, I'm bluffing, but I'm trying to call their bluff by me bluffing.
He says, "Can't it be both?"
I suppose I can.
Wanted you.
He says,
Should she not have it?
"The Raven Queen has amassed much power for an upstart god. There have been many blows to the draconic pantheon lately. I'm trying to hold what little power I have. Dragons are very difficult to kill, your conquests notwithstanding. There is an opening. If you had given me the skull, perhaps I could have taken it. But there is another." He says,
So
"No
that's the play.
matter. A Raven Queen has the skull. Has a skull."
I see.
If you retrieved one of them, I would reward you handsomely. I have access to all of the hordes, after all.
No, that's I'm sure it's quite tempting to non-Hestus. However,
I'm a
you say-
non-Hester.
when you say one of them has one, is it one Raven Queen has it? Or
He did say
yeah.
a Raven Queen, not the.
Mhm.
And he kind
I
of
heard that too.
he kind of says a Raven Queen.
I see. But a vacuum is a vacuum, and a vacuum wants to be filled.
Vacuums
Should she-
suck.
Should she vacate her throne, that would be an opportunity for other powerful creatures.
He says, as you say, vacuums need to be filled. There seem to be more and more vacuums lately. It's trying times to be a god.
You must be talking about that other stream.
Then, very, very uppity.
Yeah, it's really hard to be a god on that stream, for sure. But, well, God of Death, I do not wish you ill or starvation, and I hope that you are subsisting. Let us know if we could send you more. But no, I don't want to shit talk the DM, who is the one voicing you. So,
Who you want? Gets a Rolodex out.
no, the one with healing potion breath. We said is next.
It hurts. It's not as good as you think. They come out full.
Okay.
They come out in bottles.
Oh,
I like that.
glass.
Ow!
Yeah.
Well, it did 35 damage, but I healed 6.
Yeah, she delivers them internally. No, but thank you. I do believe this has been quite illuminating. Do you chafe under her rule? Do you have any choice in it, I suppose?
The Raven Queen or Tiamat?
I don't have all afternoon, but now I wish I did. I'll take either answer.
He says, well, as you may know, in some spheres, Tiamat has been dealt with. He kind of thinks for a second and he says, no, Mirador is fascinating. It's... Tiamat exists out of time there.
She does? Oh, I don't like gods going, okay.
He says,
I think I need to hang up.
He says, I do chafe under the Raven Queen. As a dragon, I understand Tiamat. I don't understand this. Kind of really, really bites into this upstart. Once was mortal.
That is the story.
Gross.
I actually no, this has been entirely pleasant. So thank you very much. And you, I don't know that you would profit from putting her back in her place. I want to ask if you have any advice, but I feel like that would be a bad idea. Yeah, so hold on. Purest soul on earth, Marlton Q Elf has a question.
He said that if we got another blood crystal raven skull for him, that he'd give us reward, but maybe, does he know where any of the other ones are? Can
Are
we point us
there,
in that
do you
direction?
know where another blood red raven skull is?
So close. I don't remember what it's called anymore. You've knocked any right answer out of my brain.
Hester's.
He says, I know. your emissary was shown a dragon hoard. Dragons often collect powerful magic items. Perhaps there is one in a world you have been to not long ago. Hester?
Well, so much for being connected to all the dragon hordes, am I right?
Mirador.
He says, at the top of the tallest tower. Or at the top of the literal ivory tower, Hester.
Let's see. Well, this has been charming, Noel. Thank you. You've been a gentle dragon and welcome company. I see
Cool.
piles of coins and such. Is there something you'd prefer as a... I am leaving the fire glands. That's for you. Is there an offering, like... You know how, like, interviewers sometimes get weird? Is there a question you wish an interviewer would ask you? You know, like, I'm kind of, like, backdooring my own. But, like, yeah, is there an offering you wish people could
Gold.
leave?
He is very... they're all stereotypically a dragon. Like, now gold's cool.
Yeah, gotcha. Tight. All right, well... yeah, I'll assemble them in a kind of, like, a mini horde and put the fire gland on it, and we'll kind of, like, call it today. No, charming, absolutely. And thank you. I hope to not need you again, but I know where to find you, so to speak. So,
Yep.
thank you. And I wish you resurgence in long worship. Not by me, of course, but, you know, someone.
Tight, yeah.
Right. All right, cool. We cool?
Just kind of headbutts your fist bump.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to hang up on a dragon god of death, so I just walk away. Just leave some coins, scatter them around a little bit. Put a little...
As you pass...
You're not going this direction, right? I'm going...
No, I'm going over here, actually.
Okay, great.
As you pass Halal, a dragon with a jester's hat appears and goes, "Get that butt tattoo."
It started to sound like a better idea, Halal, so thank you. Leave a couple coins.
Nice.
They're the goddess of... Or... What are they? Humor, inventiveness, and pleasure.
Why wouldn't there be?
Yep.
Of dragons, mind you.
Of dragons. Now, granted, they often
have-
think that humor is eating an adventurer, but...
Or wearing a Spelljammer
Gotcha.
as an outfit. That has to be...
Right.
Juggling
That was
adventurers.
very humorous.
Yeah.
Okay. Marley, would you like to say anything before we cut to Storm briefly, before we cut to the end of the episode?
No, just taking it all in, I guess.
Storm, would you like to legend lore a bit before we go? And if I can't provide a good answer, I will have one for next time.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I guess we want to look into the Blood Crystal Raven Skull, right?
Okay.
More precisely, and like how it might be a factor in all of this.
Crystal Raven skulls.
Yeah, and like exactly the
yeah.
lore of them.
So
I don't want to embarrass you, but that's not what it's called.
It's the Cool Ranch Hot Cherry Gushers, right?
yeah. Legend lore has autocorrect, right? Did you mean...
Exactly.
Because I'm getting nothing for this.
Right.
Okay.
I asked that, and the answer is an inside joke that has been operant for roughly 10 minutes in your game.
If I am viewers of this show, if I am contradicting anything I have said before, I am sorry. I subscribe to the Pratchett rule of canon, which is the cooler thing I thought of later is true.
Nice.
So, but I believe some of what I have said, I will say, I have said on stream before, but I am addending to it. Okay. Blood Crystal Ravenskull is a magic item that has healing properties if used by an adventurer. It's like a 4E magic item, so it helps with healing surges or something like that. I never actually statted it for 5e because you weren't ever supposed to use it, but it helps you heal. It does have healing properties. It wards death. But it basically has a bit of the Raven Queen's human soul in it. Because there are so many different versions of the Raven Queen, and they are all true in some version of the multiverse. The version that's the elf who kind of splintered under Coralon and Lolth that Hester or that Marley knows, the version that fell in love with the god of death that is commonly talked about in on Mirador and other places that worship the Dawn War, and occasionally was true in the Forgotten Realms. That version. So there are multiple Blood Crystal Ravenskulls because it is a universal constant that when the Raven Queen ascends, if the Raven Queen ascends to godhood, she puts a part of her soul in it. So if the Raven Queen gets back her Blood Crystal Ravenskull, she can do various things with it. It is useful and powerful for her to have. It increases her kind of control over her emotions usually, because she kind of becomes very distant when she's the Raven Queen. So it reconnects her to humanity.
So making her more articulate, for example.
Making her more
in a more recognizably humanoid way, rather than a being of... Mm-hmm. All right.
But because it contains a human soul, it is much easier to corrupt.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you don't know what would happen if you gave the wrong Raven Ruby Crystal collectible, Crystal Skull Vodka, to... Exclusive. It's a con-exclusive. Walgreens, gross. I have nothing against Walgreens. I just hate when they get exclusives because they're very hard to find. If you give a different Raven Skull to a different Raven Queen, like what does that do? If you're mix and matching the wrong story to the wrong queen,
right? Human seed to deity, or whatever, mortal seed to deity. Right. I mean, it could come up with an entirely new death cosmology for our universe,
and that might also have affected her personality in that way of like, why is this one talky now? Well, maybe that Raven Queen is talkier.
So the one that we gave her, as far as we know, should be the one that was key to this incarnation of her. Yes.
As
certainly
far as
what
you know,
Veja wanted us to believe.
What Veja wanted you to believe, correct?
Because that's who we used to find it.
Mm-hmm.
You're being so weird right now, Andrew, and I love it. You are Andrew Ascendant right now, and it's fantastic to watch.
So right. So, okay. So this is good. This is good. Now, do we know... As part of this legend lore and gaining this information, can I zero in, or can I, in a subsequent casting, because we discussed that, can I zero in on, like, the location of the Blood Crystal Raven Skull for our Raven Queen?
I think that would be a second casting. If you're...
Great. You're totally happy to do that. Do you want it to be same, like 5th, or do you want it to be a 6th level slot for the second cast? Because I can do that if you think it warrants the extra juice.
No, yeah, you can still use a 5th unless you...
2 5th level slots?
Yeah, unless you have run out of 5th slots and you want to just use the 6th
No.
to cast it. But yeah, no.
No, hanging on to mass suggestion is a back pocket.
That's probably a good
probably
idea.
a good
That's
idea.
probably a good idea. Fuck off. Mass,
Right, exactly.
Fuck off.
Everybody leave.
Yeah, please
exactly.
buy.
Yeah.
No. I think extrapolating that information to be like, well, where's ours then? Indeed, you learn that your blood crystal Raven Skull is on Mirador.
Fucking knew it. It's what the null was hinting at.
It was
Said
what
the
Null
last
was
thing
hinting
you
at.
were. Right.
Yep.
Okay, so cool.
And you can
So-
see it is in the office of one Colin S. Loab.
Shit.
And actually, I'll give you something else because it's a 5th level spell. So let me describe
Great.
what Colin S. Loab actually looks like right now. I was going to say you didn't. Storm didn't meet him, but Storm sees a handsome older man, kind of slicked back hair, pince nez, wearing very immaculate robes, and he's clearly evil. Like he's just emanating supervillain. Timothy has read enough comic books to be like,
Right.
I know this dude is a supervillain. Like he's in the end panel, steepled fingers, like shadow over his face,
Stroking
You're
a
like,
bald cat.
Right. They're gonna reveal that that this dude in 2 panels is the Riddler or something like that. That he's in shadow right now, but this guy's clearly a bad guy. And he's just staring at this horde. He does indeed have a little horde, and when it cuts back to him, he becomes, you can kind of see reflected in the horde. You can see this long-faced dragon with this big beard. The little glasses are still on the end of his nose. 2 giant horns, and floating in the center of his horns is like this golden sphere, and it reminds you greatly of statues you saw on Amonkhet, of their great god.
On where?
Amonkhet, the desert, the kind of Egyptian desert planet where you fought the first red dragon that was like a crocodile.
Right. Okay, cool. So this professor is channeling or is actually this being, right?
Yes.
With pince nez and a dragon face and a beard. And horns.
What did you say that this fucker's name is again?
Colin S. Loab? It's not an anagram.
No, it's totally not Nicobolus at
Wait!
all.
It's Nicobolus.
Shit, dude. Fuck, dude. Alright. I know all about that, too. Okay, great. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess as when this stuff ends, if it has ended, I guess, I will definitely share this information because I understand contextually Mirador, relative to Hester, Lily, Strongheart, etc. So yeah, we convey all this and say we gotta get this the right skull. Now, Andy, do I have any sense that from this legend lore that if we are to attain the true Raven Skull, is that going to help us influence the Raven Queen at all?
You think yes, if you had the proper Raven Skull, it would give you influence over her.
Okay.
Maybe not
great.
not like you do whatever. It's not like a remote control, but it would definitely help.
Right.
For sure.
I know you're in there somewhere.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. Okay.
Fight it.
Fight it. You can do it, Raven Queen.
Believe.
You never give up anything. Live, damn it, live! For all my abyss heads out there.
This isn't you.
Because you can just punch someone back from death, or browbeat them back from death.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Everyone knows that.
Okay.
God, you're being so fucking weird right now, and I love it so much. All right, very good.
It's great. So yeah, I share all this stuff with my pals.
So there's like another Raven Queen that's absolutely roommate syndrome with the Lady of Pain, apparently, and we've just given it to the wrong Raven
Yeah.
Queen. Or Beja's fucking around.
Vej's doing something. Vej's clearly involved. And how he's gloating about it, because there's nothing you can do about it, he thinks. He's
real
he's
cool.
full on a supervillain. I mean,
And as far as
knows I'm not going to the far plane.
As far as we know, the location of the Raven Queen is a what? Are they in the Shadowfell? Are they here? Are they in some place between? Are they in a liminal place waiting to enter? You know, like maybe that's something we could look into too at some point. Just looked down at my notes and saw Jacked Bloodheart. Anyway, I have a lot of notes from the session. It's good. Wow. Okay. This is interesting.
and let's pick up in 2 weeks there, and we can either cast another Legend Lore, combine notes, talk about what to do next. Outros and plugs, Timothy.
Wow. I am going to plug playing D&D with your friends because it feels great. It's been a while, really. Just starting back with games. It's really lovely. And I want to thank you all for participating, my fellow players, including DM as player, fellow player, and all of you who are or will be tuning in, addressing the yet unborn, those yet to be, perhaps, and those who have been. Thank you for tuning in and for caring. Caring is sharing, but it doesn't mean that Karen is Sharon. Okay? Thanks.
Yeah, I echo all of those as always. Karens, do you trust them? Cece.
Hi, I'm CC, aka Soup, aka on the Twitters and the Instagrams. I will also plug playing D&D with your friends, and I hope everyone had a happy and safe holiday season.
Indeed. Marty.
Yes, thank you very much. It's been a while, right? So absolutely your Amazon subscription has lapsed. No problem. Just re-up that, give yourself a chore every month, throw that at us. Who needs it? Critical Role doesn't need it. Don't worry, they're fine. They're making millions of dollars. They're okay. Which, no shade, by the way. I don't care that they're making millions of dollars. It's weird to be concerned about that. But anyway, give it to us instead, because we're not making millions of dollars. We could make dollars of dollars. Subscribe and like and ding a bell. Like, try those kinds of things. Just interact with us at all. Follow us. I think we're a good time. As you can see, we're having a good time, which I think is most reflective of a D&D table writ large, is just people goofing off and throwing snack foods at one another. And what else has this been? So yeah, this has been great. And again, I want to say, somewhere where it's in memoriam, that Andrew, to have watched your journey as a DM has been a true joy and honor. You just keep getting weirder, and I mean that in the best possible way. And I love you for it. It's very good.
Thank you. And I love all of you, and I would like to just say it is an honor to get to play with all of you. And I mean that to every player on these streams. You all are amazing, and I love everything you do and every character you create. As Marty said, if you can give us an Amazon subscription, you don't have to pay for a subscription. If you have Prime and you can throw it at us, it keeps the lights on, so to speak. I put all of that money back into the stream. I use it to buy our D&D books that I share with the group as a campaign, to pay for my D&D Beyond subscription, to buy new games for us to run and play. So it really does make a difference of making this hobby sustainable. And I really appreciate that for anyone who has ever done that, and you all mean a lot to me, both those on the stream and those watching. I'm getting a little choked up, and it's fine. Like and hit that bell, smash it. Let me get silly. Jacked Buttheart.
Jacked Buttheart, everybody.
God forbid I have a serious
Put
thought or
hashtag
moment.
Jacked Buttheart.
Put hashtag Jacked Buttheart. Blow us up on Twitter. What? Like
We have to do shirts. We have to do shirts of Jacked Buttheart.
Jacked Buttheart.
Images. Jacked Buttheart.
I think that would sell well.
Right?
But it's just where the tramp stamp would be. So it's a plain T-shirt on the front, and then on the back it's just.
Oh, it's Jacked Buttheart, right? So the shirt's a little long.
It's a little long.
It's
like it's not a slim fit or an athletic cut. It's like a 90s T-shirt.
It's a thinker.
Yeah.
In the business, they call that a thinker.
Next week, Gracefall continues, and they've just found Fredonia. So join us for that. I think being weird is fun. So watch me descend into just weirdness. Have a great night. Have a beautiful and safe New Year. Be safe out there. I know it's getting scary again. Let's try and make 2022 better than the last couple of years. It's the newest year we got, and therefore the best one. It's mint in box. It's not anymore. Sorry, everybody. We took it out.
It's a Scloozy.
My Scloozy. Have a good night, everybody.